Well, that's quite a deal there. That's just a real no-no. That's trying to put a spray on and it's raining. It just washes it right off the tree. It's just a waste of material. And that stuff is expensive. Probably 10 years ago, my neighbor with the orchard up behind up there, he's got, what, 50 acres, and he said his spray bill was $75,000. So, just spraying money on the ground. I bet his boss would not be happy if he knew about that. Anyway, we have our own little can of worms. Instead of me meddling in the neighbor's business, I ought to talk about my own stuff, I guess. It is raining, as we suspected it was going to. And Victor has called the support crew and give them the day off. And then our other main guy, Jorge, he is going to come with us, and I'm going to take them up to this next job. And we're going to do some chainsaw work, the three of us, because the guy didn't get them cut down. He's been working on 100 trees for 3 weeks. He works a steady job. He works another job, driving truck. So he only worked at it on the weekends, and apparently not even too much then, because he didn't get them all cut down. But that's okay. In the interest of just getting this thing done before I lose my crew, I'm going to just step up and do the cut down myself. So they're pretty woolly. They're pretty brushy and hairy and ugly, but we're just as ugly as they are, so we can handle it. If this thing was easy, little girls would be doing it. Alright, I'll see you guys at the job site. Bring your shaps and your chainsaws and your gas and everything.
I've had several viewers ask me about multi-variety fruit trees, and can you put nut trees onto peach trees and plums on apples and that sort of thing, and I've answered each question individually, but I'm going to address them all here. You can graft multi-variety trees, but you need to stay in the same family. Apples on apples, pears on pears, and lots of different cherry varieties onto cherries. But the stone fruit are the more interesting ones to make a salad tree, we call fruit salad tree. One year I did grow, graft, and sell 10,000 trees that were 4-way apple trees. But the more interesting ones, as I say, are the stone fruit, because you can graft onto a peach tree a nectarine, an apricot, a plum, and other peaches. But you cannot graft peach onto plum or peach onto nectarine. They only go one way. Nectarine, apricot, plums, and peaches onto peaches. Now there is one interesting interstem that I've worked with, and it is called a dara. A dara is a plum rootstock, but it can be used as an interstem to graft cherry onto plum. And I've done some of that work, and I had an interview with a reporter from the Good Fruit Grower. Good Fruit Grower is a national publication, and pretty much all the farmers here in Washington State, all the orchardists at least, get this magazine, and I know a lot of people in Michigan and other apple growing regions. This is a popular magazine for them as well. But what I did here was I grew some of this Adara on my own trees, and then I went into the summer and I placed a cherry bud of the desired variety about every 8 inches up the shoots of these Adara plum suckers, and they healed in that winter. And then the next spring I cut those shoots, and I cut them up to length, 8-inch lengths, leaving the cherry bud right at the top of that sign length. That's called a sleeping eye, when you have that dormant bud at the top of the sign. I then took those signs out with the sleeping eye and grafted them onto plum trees. And those grafts healed in on the bottom, and then once they built up the vascular system to feed the nutrients from the root system into the sign, it began to force the cherry bud. So we were able to convert plum trees to cherry trees, and that was a real interesting project. In my time of doing this, over 37 years, about the time I think I've pretty much done all there is to do, something new and interesting seems to come along. So I will list the link to this article. It's online, and I will put this link in the description for those of you who wish to read the article. It's only it's a short one. It's only about one page. So if you're interested in putting cherries onto plum trees, it can be done. And what I thought would really be fun to do with it is to make some multi-variety trees, taking a peach rootstock and grafting on, as I said, nectarine, apricots, and plums. And then this way, with the Adara, you would also be able to add a cherry into that mix. So that would be a real fun backyard project. Maybe some of you would like to try it. I hope so. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. We've been rained out, so I thought I would put this information up for those who wish to read it. Thanks for following along. Appreciate you.